Hello, good evening, folks. How you doing? How was your day today?
Busy, but I'm good. Thank you, teacher.
Okay,
Doing good. And yourself?
doing well, thanks God.
You and you, teacher?
Okay, folks, we're gonna start, folks. In this session, we're gonna continue discussing about the unit three, ethics in the teaching and translations, and today we're gonna see the veracity, objectivity, and human dignity in ethics in teaching and translations as well. Okay, so the objective for these sessions, folks, are recognizes key ethical principles, as I mentioned before, like veracity, objectivity, human dignity, intuition and translation context, apply ethical principles to analyze and solve real life professional situations, and demonstrate ethical responsibility through respectful, fair, and informed decision making. So here, as you can appreciate, folks, we got an introduction that I would like to some of you to read this one, please.
Uh, Introduction. Professional ethics play a fundamental role in guiding the behavior and decision making of the individual in their professional practice. This involves a set of principles and values such as honesty, objectivity, responsibility, and respect for human dignity. In fields like teacher and translation, ethical conduct is especially important as professionals have direct impact on individual society. Teacher influence students' development, uh, while translation are accurately and applying ethical principles allow professionals to add integrity, maintain trust, ensure fairness in their work. This lesson focuses and reinforces the principle and apply the in real life to teach and
Okay, thank you. As you know, folks, professional ethics is about the principles, okay? The principle that we have been discussing before and that guide how to act in our work, even in the university where you we studied, right? In this case, Univalle, right, where you studied. In areas, folks, like teaching and translation, those principles are so important because remember that based on that can affect the decisions, uh, can affect our decision, can affect other people, right? Now, as usually, folks, I would like to start with speaking questions. Here, as you can see there, we got 10 questions. I'm gonna give you 3 minutes, no more, 3 minutes, okay? Just to analyze those questions, and then we're gonna start discussing these questions, right? Okay, folks, we're gonna start with the first question. What does being ethical mean to you as a future professional? Genesis, go ahead.
Good evening, teacher. For
Evening.
me, being ethical means acting with integrity, honesty, and responsibility in all professional situations. For me, it involves making decisions that are fair and respectful towards others, even when those decisions are difficult or not in my personal interest.
Okay,
That
thank
is.
you. Rosa, go ahead.
Hi, teacher.
Hello.
I'm sorry if I'm talking like this. I just had a cold. And for me, being ethical as a future professional, in this case, it could be English teacher, means three of the most important keywords that I've been learning from your class about this class ethic, which include honestly, as you said before, respect and responsibility. As a future teacher, but not as a future teacher, by now I'm doing the professional internship with kids. And what I would like to do is that I want to start putting everything into practice from now on because it's very important to treat all the students fairly without favoritisms and to respect their ideas, their opinions, and different. Because I don't want to be the kind of teacher that only want the students learn by me the language. I want them learn about honestly and respect. I want them to develop important values that will help them in their lives, such as responsibility, teamwork, kindness, honesty, and respect. That's it.
Mhm. Developing some values. Okay, good. Let's see the second question. Can a teacher be good at teaching but still be unethical? Jose Miranda, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, teacher. Yes, I think teachers can be very good at teaching and still be unethical, right? And we can see that in daily life. A teacher, for example, who discriminates or lies or treats students unfairly are definitely being unethical, even if they teach well, because ethics requires professionals to be respectful to
Yeah.
students' dignity and responsibility.
Yeah. Jose Miranda, do you think that if a teacher shows favoritisms on some students, that means that the teacher is being unethical?
Yes, yes, I agree. Favoritism, it should not be uh, part of our values when it comes to professionalism. We have to treat everyone with respect and fairness.
Okay, okay, thank you. Let's see the question number three. Have you experienced an unfair situation at university? What happened? Rose.
Uh,
Okay, Fernando, go ahead, Fernando. Archimedes.
Good evening, teacher. Question
Evening.
number three. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have a, a, a bad experience in the university. No, uh, let me see. I need to try to explain this. Uh, Sometime I think happen when this experience, I have a bad experience when um I don't have a clear communication with the teacher. For example, a quiz or a test, and not have um, a clear a clear rubrics or from the teacher, so the professor. So when you have this confused where you don't have the same results, or also sometimes uh, I say the teacher have more unethical favoritism showing when I have more attend more at the girls and not at the boys. So, for example, I have that bad experience.
Okay, thank you. Do we have another opinion for the same questions?
Um, I can speak.
Yeah.
This is university, but I have experience in the high school. A math
Yeah.
teacher foiled me, even though I always attend classes. While my classmates who didn't show up passed it, and later everyone helped me file an appeal, but by there was nothing that couldn't be done. It but it was unfair and so funny in the moment,
Yeah.
but it was very unfair.
Okay, good, good. Let's move on to question number 4, folks. Why why is honesty important in teaching and translation? Adriana.
I consider honesty is essential in both because in both professions rely on trust and accuracy. On one hand, in teaching, it ensures students receive fair evaluations and feedback, which, which support real learning. And in translation, it ensures staying faithful to the original message and not distorting the meaning, so both build trust.
Okay, thank you. Let's see question number 5. What would you do if your boss asked you to do something unethical? Alicia Raquel, Regina Mora. Sí, Adriana, go ahead. Noel.
Hello. I think first, I need the explication because in some case, some balls consider unethical. Some things that you possible not consider unethical. Um, First is explication. The second, I need for I need um I need I don't know. I need that I recall this, and for this I can to learn.
Okay. Kevin, what do you think about the same questions?
Well, it depends how much money are we talking about. Now, to be honest, I wouldn't do that. Depending on what is the unethical thing we're talking about, but I think if I follow my feelings or my rights, and I am an ethical person, I wouldn't accept to do something that I know that is going to give me some problems in the future. So I won't do that.
Okay, okay, thank you. Let's see question number 6. Is it ever okay to lie in a professional context? Yes, Jose, go ahead. Navarrete.
So in general, it's not okay to lie in a professional context because it can damage trust and reputation. However, in some small situations, like avoiding hurting someone's feelings, people may say a white lie, but honesty should always be the priority.
Okay. But based on your experience, have you ever lied in your job?
Yes, it was bad for me, but I made a lie in some assignment in the university.
Okay. I'm gonna take into account that. Okay, let's see who raised the hands over here. Okay, let's move on to question number 7, folks. What is more important, being loyal or being honest? See, Adriana, go ahead.
I consider both are important because both complement each other. It is important to have your own judgment and not to be blinded by loyalty. So you should be able to say yes or no depending on how you feel and whether something is right or not. So in that way, being honest with yourself and with others allows
Mhm.
you to be loyal with
Okay.
other people.
Okay, thank you, Gerardo. Archimedes.
Okay, teacher. Well, from my point of view, I prefer to being honest because when you are honest is the first step for the loyal because
Mhm.
I think when you are loyal you can be you can be a loyal with a murder or a bad person, but I think it's not necessary. I prefer can be honest with the people or the person. In this case, in my job, I think it's the most important value of the honesty.
Okay, good. Regina?
Good night. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I think on my own opinion, so it's more important to create trust because you can have more solid on what to say, so another people can believe on you, even that if you know, like if nobody can trust on you. So if you have a good decision, even if there will be a difficult decision, I believe that always says the truth will be better on the life. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Marcos Montoya.
Well, in my opinion, teacher, I think that it's more important being loyal. Or in my case, I want to be with people that will be loyal to me. No people that maybe I'm going to jail because they decide to be honest.
Mhm. Okay, good. Jose Miranda.
Teacher, I think they're not mutually exclusive. In my
Mhm.
opinion, one can be loyal and be honest at the same time. If, for example, a friend is acting wrong at the workplace, then I would be honest in my approach. I would tell him, "Hey, I think you're doing wrong. This is not right, but I think you're a good person. You can redeem yourself, right? I don't want you
Mhm.
to destroy your life doing stuff like this. And I will give you the opportunity to do things right." And then as you're being honest, then you can tell your friend, then you're gonna take action on whatever they're doing, of course with all the good intentions, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I think one can be loyal and be honest.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Now, what do you think about the question number 8, folks? How can a teacher show respect for a student's dignity? Yes, Marcus.
I think that treating them like equally, like if someone say like a dumb question, like no laugh of the person or the
Mhm.
student.
Okay, good. Let's see question number 9. What could happen if a translator changes the meaning of a text? Yes, Gerardo. Then Cindy.
I would say that it, as a translator, it could lead you to wrong, bad things, bad places, even the jail, I believe, because if you're a translator, let's say for a lawyer, and you translate things incorrectly, you're gonna have problems. The lawyer is gonna have problems. They could fire you.
Mhm.
And yeah, that could
Mhm.
generally could take you to very bad places.
Okay, good. Yes, Cindy.
Can you hear me?
Of course.
Okay. Um, in my opinion, this is kind of sensitive
Mm-hmm.
because when a translator, which is a professional that is actually serving to other professionals with sensitive content, if they change anything, it could lead to any severe consequences. For example, it could have severe consequences in their financial losses, any damage on their reputation, and of course, it would have legal liability, legal problems, and any safety risk. So that's why when it comes to translate, the person that works as a translator has to be careful with whatever they are saying to the other person because any misunderstanding will be um bad for their reputation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cindy, and what happened? Let's suppose that you translated a medical document, okay? And let's suppose that you found a word that you couldn't find the correct equivalent for that word. What would you do?
Mm, what I would personally do is maybe to look in my resources. So in I believe I never worked as a translator personally, but I believe they have access to any kind of dictionary or any kind of platform that allows them to look up for the meaning of any word. So what I would do is like to look for that meaning real quickly, try to analyze it, ask for maybe a minute to the other person or both parties, and then right after I, understood a little like the meaning of the word, then I would
Mm-hmm.
just like rephrase it or try to explain it based on what I understood. I don't know. That's what I would do in that hypothetical scenario.
Would you take into consideration the cultural awareness?
No, I'm not taking that in consideration.
Okay, good. The last question, folks. Thank you. The last question. Do you think ethics should be taught in school? Noel, go ahead.
Of course, teacher, but you know that first is thought in house. I consider that the school just reformed, and currently the school are teaching the some ethic like respect and responsibility and honestly.
Okay, good. Jesus Suafo, Scarlett Torres, Fernanda, Genesis Solis. What do you think about the last question?
Teacher?
Yes?
Yeah, well, for the last question, I believe that in the school we needs to have a class about ethics because the education is not only academic knowledge but also developing responsibilities and respectful individuals. And teaching ethics help students to understand values such as honesty, responsibilities, fairness, and respect, and more values. And it also prepares them, to face real life situations.
Mhm, okay, good. Kevin?
Yeah, I was going to say that I think that everything should be taught in our houses. It
Mhm.
comes from our parents or our family, because if you think many people don't go to schools until they are 4 years old, and at that age, you I think you are able to know many things, many bad things, to be honest. But I think, imagine that there is a class of ethics, and then the child goes to the house and tell mom, today the teacher talked about ethics, and the mom doesn't know about that. And there would be many problems if there's a class. I think the parents have the the obligation to teach the children about ethics, about responsibility, about everything, uh, and try to do the things right, because no one becomes um, a perfect person in this world just for being human. As we know, we make mistakes, and the best thing is that to be try to be better every day.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Kevin. Now, folks, let's move on to here one. As I mentioned before, as I introduced at the beginning of the session, folks, I mentioned that we got some ethical principles in teaching and in translation, and some of them are veracity. Remember that veracity, folks, means for providing accurate information and being honest with the students in the case of the teaching, right? Another ethical principle that we got in this area is the objectivity, right? So here, the objectivity, folks, means that we need to evaluate a student based on clear and fair criteria, right? I don't know if you have experienced that, especially in oral communications, there are some teachers that they grade the students without using any criteria, any clear criteria, right? And that is considered unfair, right? Because there are some students that they well prepare for that, and at the end they got a lower score, right? Another of the principle that we can take into consideration in this area is the human dignity. Remember that what does it mean? So that we, as a teacher, we have to treat all of the students with respect, as you mentioned before, right? And we have to value their ideas, their opinions, and even their differences. So, as you can appreciate on the screen, folks, we got some of the core characteristics of those ethical principles in teaching area, like be fair, impartial, respect the students, promote a safe learning environment, and act as roles in models. Now, when we talk about translation, some of the ethical principles that we got are the same, but veracity in translation, folks, means that we need to maintain the the full faithfulness, right, to the original message. So we can ensure, we have to ensure, okay, we have to ensure the meaning of the text, okay, are the original ones. And the objectivity in this area, folks, means that we have to be neutral. So what does it mean? That even when translating, we didn't have to give our own opinion, we didn't have to include our emotions. We have to be neutral. We have to respect the original message in that. And the human dignity here, folks, remember that translation representing people, represent cultures and ideas, right? And some of the core characteristics that we got for these ethical principles in this area are to maintain accuracy and fidelity with the original message, okay? Avoid altering meaning. So something important that if we don't find the correct equivalent of a word, especially when we are using regionalisms, we have to take into consideration the cultural awareness, right? So I have seen many translators that they wrote a note explaining why they were using such word. So that is related to cultural awareness. Okay, so we have to respect confidentiality, folks, especially in medical area. Okay, and remain to be neutral of this one. Now, I brought us an scenario, folks. This scenario is relating to teaching, and I'm gonna share the link into the chat box, and please complete the read the scenario, and we got 2 or 3 questions, but you're not going to answer such question, folks. You're going to take into account those questions as supporting, okay, to start your own opinion. On the left side, please write the women's opinion, and on the right side, the man's opinions. Okay, I'm gonna share the link. Just let me look for it. Okay, here we got. Let me know if you can enter. Check it, please.
Just requested access, teacher.
Let me see. Let me see. Try it now.
Yep. Thank
Okay.
you.
You got 4 minutes to read the scenario and start writing your opinion about such a scenario, okay? Folks, the meeting, the virtual meeting, it's about to end up. So after that, you will have 3 more minutes, okay, for completing if you haven't completed yet.
Teacher,
Yes, tell me.
yes, I'm sorry. I cannot, it doesn't allow me to edit the document. I cannot type anything.
Probably you didn't have the application on your phone because most of your peers are writing, are completing.